Bonjour, bienvenue sur cette vidéo en ma chaîne Leonard Legatos. Je m'appelle Miguel. En cette vidéo, je vais vous parler en français et en anglais. And you see, I was aiming for record only in French this video because I want to force myself to talk in French for improve. But the truth is, my level is completely, completely beginner. I still a complete beginner. So I will keep in talk in English. So you see, I am practicing French for 20 days now. Exactly. Today it is exactly 20 days that I have started to learn French, and I'm trying to learn French also with at the same time that I learn English. To do so, I'm just basically for French. I'm just watching content. That's all I'm doing. I also using flashcards, but not very structured actually. So what I'm doing is more close to the just watching content than the flashcards itself. So I've been through a lot of things in my English, and I'm thinking a lot of how I should approach English now that I have no time. I'm quite a bit different situation than I was before. Than I was before actually, because before I felt that the world and all my surroundings was making me not able to learn the English. But now I think I see a light in the tunnel when I want to improve my English, and I think that I can do this. I have bought some books by Amazon, but my books didn't arrive it yet, so I'm waiting for them. But actually, I shall not take them now for now. But I think that they may arrive soon. If doesn't, I need to buy another copy and wait 2 or 3 months for it arrives. That's quite a big deal. Although I still haven't other books here in English, but the level is not quite what I am now. I have like the Wuthering Heights and also the Picture of Dorian Gray here, and this book right here that I already have showed to you guys, that is Hamlet, and it's a very faithful version of it, so it's quite good version that I got. But still, I think that the Picture of Dorian Gray of these three books is the closer to my level right now, because it's the easiest. Wuthering Heights I felt very difficult, but I will try to read it later. For now, I still reading The Host of the Cosmos, A Death by Black Hole, and Other Cosmic Quandaries. I've been thinking a lot about my spoken English and how I should really try to get back here and talk with you guys, talk with myself, talk with my friends that I'm trying to do actually. But there is a gap between my level and the master C2 native, like the best level of all. There is a gap between those, and I need to make this gap shorter. To do so, I have to put effort. I feel that I may have passed the B2 level, or at least I'm a very consolidated B2. I actually don't know, but I'm pretty sure that I've passed the B1 level because I can understand pretty much everything that I listen to in the YouTube and the movies. When I watch movies, I can I can get it right 95% of what I have heard without subtitles at all. So I think that my listen is in a good level, not the best though. My reading is kinda getting to a good place. Um, Last week I have read the book by Agatha Christie, and there were none. And I read the book without any big problem, and that's where I am. Like for writing, I still making very not very big, but I'm still making some mistakes here and there, and they are quite relevant, quite relevant actually, relevant, quite relevant mistakes. So that's what's triggering me most in my text. But I also have the other. I forgot. I always forgot the four core skills. I talked about writing, speaking, and reading. Oh, I've talked about all of them. I didn't explain my speaking actually, but with my speaking, I feel that now I can express myself, although I need to be more articulated. I need to practice more my accent because you see, my accent is very is not very defined. It's a mixture between a bunch of different accents, and it has obviously my Brazilian accent because I'm Brazilian, and there is the British accent, which is my goal. I want to have an accent closer to the modern received pronunciation, but also I have a big influence of American accent, Canadian accent, and also Australian accent, because I've watched a bunch of content of Australian and Canadian YouTubers, and also mainly United States produced American media. So my accent for now, it's a mixture between some different accents, but I will work on my accent in the future. Um, in the in my speaking overall, to make my English more advanced. I want to have my English as a very good language. I already have talked about this, but I want to have English as my second best language. And right after English, I want to have French as my third language. I have I have the desire to have Latin as the fourth, and Russian, Japanese, ancient Greek in this order as the my sixth, like Portuguese, English, French, Latin, Russian, Japanese, and ancient Greek. That's my dream, you know. It's very utopic for now, but I'm working in it. My English is in a decent level, I think. My French is still very beginner. I'm still A1 level. I'm not dedicating time realistically to my French, so I don't expect it to become very very good suddenly. For now, I'm studying English since 20. Oh, my Portuguese just dropped. What a shame. Uh, just dropped in the middle of my English speaking. Um, but I'm studying French since 20 days ago now. Like I started 20 days ago. I think that there is a grammatical mistake there in my phrase, but I've started 20 days ago, and now my English has not my English, my French has this level type of thing. I'm working on so many things besides my languages that it's hard to have time to study the language. But I love to study the language. Probably is one of the most um, enjoyable hobbies that I have. I think that it is probably one of the most enjoyable hobbies in my opinion, for me at least. And it's amazing. Take a language and start to learn it. Just watch content for me. It's quite impressive because you don't know about the language, but when you're watching a content that's right above your level, you can understand it. I was watching a bunch of content in the YouTube, in the English and American YouTube type of thing, and I can watch it, I can listen to it even without see the video and understand. That's because I've been studying the language by a long time now. I would say that like since my 6 years I studied English. So when I was 6 years old, my mother put me in a school for learning English, but I've stopped it. Like with 7 years, I've stopped it to study English since my let's say 12 years old, 13 years old, and I've started, but very slowly, very 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 slowly. And with 14 years old, I think that I properly have started, kind of. I could say that I've started to study with 14, but I didn't know a lot about language learning, so my studies was never that great. I was the type of person who just watch nonsense content, not nonsense content in the meaning of the content by itself was prolix, but in the meaning of that was watching content that didn't fit my needs to the language. So I was watching either too easy or too hard content, and doing like just using these applications, those apps out there to try to improve my English, but it was very shy. My study was very limited. So with 14, 15, I think with 15 I started to search more about language learn, and with 15 years old I've started to properly learn English. uh, Now I'm with 16 years old, and not with 15. I would say that with 14 I've started quite nice job, more in some sense. 14 I've started, and with uh, 16 that it's my age now. I hope that that don't give me a big problem, because the YouTube have some restrictions of age, but I think that's not a problem. So with 16, which is my age now, I think that I got to a reasonable level of English within 3 or 4 years in focused studies. About French, I'm hoping to get better in within 2 years. I'm hoping to get my French at least to a solid B1 level within 2 years, because I want first of all reach my English to the advanced level. C2 type of thing, C1, or not necessarily C2 in the sense um, of being native like and know everything. Not in within 2 years. That takes more effort than 2 years, in my opinion, more time than 2 years. But I think that within 2 years and some months, which is the time that I have until my high school ends, I want to have my English as a very consolidated um, language, and as a tool to everything that I want to do. I want to be able to read classical and hard books in English, philosophy books in English, write articles in English about math and philosophy and the areas that I like. To be an articulated speaker. With French, I want to have my French at least in a intermediary. I, bro, that's such an easy word and I cannot say it. But what a shame. So I want to have my English in the B1 level. My not my English, my French in the B1 level. And with that, within 2 years, I think I will see how my French will improve. If my French improves very fast, like faster than I think enough, and my English has becomes advanced and faster than I'm thinking of, I will move to another language. If that doesn't happen, I will keep learn both of them until I get my English to a very advanced level. By very advanced, I mean this solid C2, an articulated C2 level, and also with my French, I got to the middle ground around B1 or aiming for a solid B2. That would be great. Actually, that would be very great, because with French and English, I think that I would have like a very strong base into languages by hobby, I mean, I could know more about language and more about like know more language in my age. I think that's possible with 16 years old to learn, 5 language, 6 language. You could do so. You could learn more language. Surely you could, but with my age and like with the environment that I have in my life, I think that if I get to 18 years with two strong languages as French and English, as well with my native language, Portuguese, I would be very thankful. And I don't want to learn 20 language to be 20 a very articulated speaker of 20 language. I do not want to that. I just want to be able to know more about the language, know more about the world, and have this hobby that I enjoy a lot, that is to learn language as a part of my life, of my everyday life, and also be able to read books. I enjoy books, and I want to read them in the original language. So if I'm taking English literature, for example, the ideal like the ideal word is to read this literature in the English language, because you will acquire all that language has to offer. That book has to offer so many things in the native language that you lost in translating to other language. Although a good translation is incredible, um, incredibly good. So that's it. Uh, those videos that I record here are unscripted videos, as you guys can guess by my lostness and I'm talking several different topics. I quite enjoy do that because I feel that if I talk freely, I would be able to express myself better than if I write down and do a script. Because if I do a script here, I think that I will not be able to express myself as much as I would. So that's why I'm I do unscripted videos. That's why. And also I like to share my experiences with the language learning with you guys. Although other thing that is passing through my mind right now is that if I keep talking just about the my language learning routine and my language learn practices and my language learn reality, I may be staying on my comfortable zone and I will never, or at least I will get in a very slow pace to the C2 level. And that's another thing that I want to practice is speaking, but it's hard to get out of my comfortable zone, not for the fear of getting out, but because I enjoy talk about language in English specifically, and in general I enjoy talk about language. Language is a thing that I really enjoy to talk about, and this channel is after all a place to share my experiences in the language mainly. So that's why I want to keep talking about language, but at the same time I want to improve other parts of my potential with speaking. Therefore I will search for ways and topics to talk with you guys. I will talk about chess, maybe I will talk about math, maybe I will talk about philosophy, about books, about literature, about violin, about um, origamis. I started to do origamis. I started to do karate. So I have a few topics that I really enjoy that I could talk with you guys. But I really do think that this will take me from my comfort zone, but what it will be great for me. My language will improve, and also um, will make the contents of this channel more diverse. I'm talking with you, but referring to my cell phone. But what I mean is to be referring to you guys, um, that may be potentially and possibly watching this video. I have no intentions for now to get this channel bigger, like to make effort to get this channel bigger. But if you want to subscribe, you could do so. Sometimes I talk about some things about language here, and like creating a channel is such a good thing. I think it's quite unique, you know, the feeling of creating a community. I really enjoy do things with other people, because if you do things by yourself, just by yourself, you really take the risk to be selfish, and to be selfish is not a great thing at all. To be selfish is such a horrible thing. Actually, you have the risk, and you are assuming the risk of being in that spirit, in that situation, that you are not doing things for the people, you are just doing things for yourself. And when you are in that situation, you lost the meaning of the things, because we are here to make things to other people, not for ourselves. That's not the reason that make us be here. You know, if you just do things for yourself, you will not be a great people, because if you don't know how to help other people, you will not know how to help yourself correctly. And that that's the feeling of create a community. You will lose selfish, you lose the sense of being isolated into your own world. Here we talk like, and we not here but in a standard community, we can talk, we can chat, we can exchange ideas. That's such a unique feeling. But I understand that my videos are not um, quite created in to the big majority of people, because it's not a very interesting content. It's mainly myself here yapping about so many things in front of my camera, which is my cell phone, with this background here, and I'm talking about stuff without following the script and without paying attention quite for my for what I'm saying. Actually, I'm not think carefully, very carefully, before talking anything here. So that's why I've been thinking about the channel, and this video or all my other videos are not very entertaining. I think, in my opinion, they aren't. But I just want to keep practice my English. Like, every day that I talk, each day that I talk, I will be winning, because I will be learning new things and I will be practicing my speaking. So even if no one watch my videos, I would be that would be nice for me, because I'm here to practice my speaking mainly. And also, for if someone watch it, it's not a problem. I'm here to help if I could. Like, if some, because you see, it's almost philosophical, Maybe I'm getting too exaggerated in this thought, but I'm talking with my camera and with my cell phone. It's actually 27 minutes in the video, 28 minutes now, almost 28 minutes. So if you're watching this in the YouTube, I'm talking with you, right? If you are not watching this video, like if no one is watching this video, I'm talking with no one. Therefore, you could not hear what I'm talking. That's obvious, right? But if you were listening to me, you are listening to my reflections. That makes my reflection exist in some sense to you. So my discussion involved in this channel and involving you, whether watching or not, whether we watch or not my channel and my videos, makes sense in that possibility of the universe, in that like possible universe. I'm not talking about different universes and multiverses. I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about the possibility of you being watched and I'm here being taught. So in this sense, it's like I'm talking with a possible person. I'm talking with a possible viewer who is watching my content. That's make my content exist. Not because I'm talking with someone who truly necessarily exists, but my content exists because I'm talking with someone who possibly could exist. So if you are watching, I'm discussing with you who could possibly exist. If you're not watching, like, I'm discussing with you who actually exists if you are watching. If you are not watching, I'm just talking with myself and make a discussion with someone who possibly could exist and possibly could not exist. And that's the sense. You are not existing and not existing at the same time. You see, um, that's um, is more a philosophical tone discussion than anything, and it's quite prolix. All discussions that I've made here are useless, actually, probably, if we are looking critically. All things that I've talked here has no impact whatsoever in the world, are just a bunch of nonsense with several different grammar mistakes. Right now, probably I'm making thousands of grammar and not grammar, grammatical mistakes whatsoever. That's just the sense of things. But I really enjoy to talk and reflect about those things. So if you are in this possible scenario that you're talking, or that was that you seeing me talk with you, I hope that you have enjoyed this video. If that's not the possibility and I'm talking alone, it was great to do so. But I see you all, if you are seeing me, in the next video. This video got very philosophical though. That it was great to construct, to try to construct a type of argument in the philosophical tone. But anyways, see you guys soon. Bye.